Welcome back. We're catching our breath. Anybody who works with tools, as I do, knows. Number one rule is always put your tools back in the bag. Put them back in the cases. Put them back where they belong because you're going to need them. Who the hell does that? At the end of the day, you're just like, shh, let's keep moving. Okay. So, I got a handful of Allen keys right now. Which one do you think is going to fit to take these legs off? Allergy season at its finest. That one? I think you're right. Can you stand there for a minute?
That's pretty strong.
That's my boy.
Am I correct?
You're correct.
It's
See, and I just threw the Allen keys on the counter. Hey, loves, can you put these back into the tool bag? So when we need them next, we know where to find them. And an empty, no carton, no container, messy tool bag. So when you actually get the bolts out,
I'll take that leg.
no, you will not. Thank you, sir. Okay, allergy boy. We're gonna keep it here so I know what all the parts are here. So when we need to assemble it after we stretch the new fabric, we know where things are, just like our Allen keys. We are ready to get stretching. Okay. This is what we chose. And you know what? It's only like $7 a yard. So I bought 2 yards from Walmart. And we are gonna see, he's back, boys and girls. We're gonna see how this turns out. Now, hey, I have a feeling this is gonna become our angle for reupholstering because Sir Logan Walker White has decided to take over our other camera angle. Is this not amazing? And you can see the paint color that we have in my kitchen is that gray color, so see above, right there. That's the color that we just put downstairs. So I am going to take.
So you're gonna go with that one?
I am going to take the top that we're getting ready to reupholster off the counter for a second. I am going to lay. Sorry, my hair down. I am going to lay this bad boy on my operating table, aka my kitchen island. Logan, please. And now normally, if I was doing this on a wider top, I'm going to use my bar stool over here as a lift to hold my vinyl embossed crock. It's heavy. It's not a lightweight. So I'm going to use that as a prop. So we're right now in the stage of being able to play around, move things around, see how it's going to go. Now when you're reupholstering, there's no reason other than if your top has any like abrasions or like puncture wound holes, whatever, if it's going to interfere with your new upholstery that you're going to be applying, there's really no reason for me to have to take this off. I know it looks soiled. It doesn't look soiled, it is soiled, but it's no bodily fluid. It was like apple juice and like water. So there, it's stained. It's not like soiled with yuckies, okay? So there's no reason for me to have to like take this off, okay? I am just going, and this is also going to be an accent piece downstairs under the staircase or next to the staircase, like going into the bathroom area, which will show you obviously the finished product, where it's going to go and how I'm going to stage it and whatnot, all the good stuff. So we are literally going to lay the part facing me on the countertop, and I'm just going to stretch the fabric and staple gun it in. This has nail heads on it currently. I'm not removing the nail heads because this vinyl is so thick that it's just gonna cover right over the nail heads. So this is actually a really simple repurposing. So let's do this. I'm gonna show you how we start with this. Hence why I told my child to move. Okay, so I'm going to start with it knowing, there goes one of our bolts. Logan, can you grab that bolt that fell on the floor? So I know that I am at the right depth. Now we need to find,
Why does more keep falling over?
I don't know, Bubba, they're rolling with their homies. So as you might have saw when I unfolded this new fabric, there was like a fold line, like a crease. So that's way more than I need. And that crease, to be honest, once I stretch it, it will work its way out over time. But because this bench is going to be flush against a stairwell, you're not going to see the side that's going to have that crease. So I don't need to finagle it that much. I'm going to get this job done, because after I repurpose this, I'm probably not going to redo it again. It's just going to be like a one and done situation. So all I really want to do right now is find the easiest way to get this done. So I keep flipping to see just how much and how close to the edge I can get so that I can get that crease line on the back side. And that's probably not enough. So I got to push back just a little bit more. And then I think we'll be good. Yeah, we're golden with that. So we're going to stick with that. Okay. Make sure it's level because this is, just put it on the counter for right now, baby, okay? Double check my, nope, see, shifted it a little bit too much. So, whoop. Don't work against me, work with me. The backing on this vinyl is like felt. So it's got that grip to it. So it's kind of hard to maneuver on your own. So you always want to check, double check, triple check before you cut. Okay? So what we're going to do, grab our shears. So what I'm going to do now is, knowing that I have this end where it needs to be, I have this end where it needs to be, I'm going to put a little notch in this material. And I'm going to give myself an extra inch for wiggle room so that when we, as I'm doing this with scissors in my hand, like an idiot, I'm going to give an extra inch on one other end. Yes, I could give a lot more, but I'm really hoping that I can make the most out of this fabric. I'm going to hope to get that extra yardage so I can make a bolster pillow to put on this bench. So I don't want to give too much on the overage. I have enough on this end to staple and be good. So I could just do that extra inch on this end, okay? So I'm just gonna go right along, and that will give me enough yardage to make, probably end up being like a, I don't know, like a 18-inch by 24-inch, maybe. It's fine. It's my stuff. It doesn't have to be exact measurements. So now we've got our extra yardage, which I will end up making into a lovely little bolster pillow. By the time I'm done with the hemming of this and the seaming of this and the over stitching and whatnot, it'll probably end up being like a little bolster pillow. Cool? Yeah. So I grabbed a new staple gun. It's a heavy duty. When you're working with upholstery, and also, especially in this case, a vinyl, and when you're stretching that weight. When you're using upholstery guns or upholstery staples, they need to be the length that's going to cover the thickness of the vinyl, stretching, sitting on it, the pulling, and all that, okay? Get to stapling. So, I'm gonna start on my end. Okay. Seems like there's a wrinkle in time somewhere. And I have all that excess on the back side, so I'm okay with this side. If it needs to pull forward, I'm still good. I've got about an inch overhang on this end. But the best thing to do is just start somewhere, because you can always pull the staple out if you have to. It's not that big of a deal. It's also repurposing right now, so it's not like it's just stapling. So what I do, I anchor my ends so there's no puckering. My embossing is in line and equal, and I'm just going to do anchors on the end, one in the middle, and get my other two flanking that center staple. And now that I have that end tight, I'm going to pull this taut. Okay? I'm going to go ahead and put an extra staple onto the wood stretcher that is corner blocking the sides together. I'm going to pull it taut again, and then I'm just going to come up and over and repeat, lather, rinse, repeat. So we're going to get our corners anchored, stretch, get the center, length it, center staple, get those stretcher bars, and we're golden. You have a few different options on stretching and reupholstering. If I wanted to do like a corner plate or get fancy with it, I could. It's kind of like wrapping a gift. When you have wrapping paper, so you know how when you're like doing gift wrap, you can do the whole like tuck in the sides, and then they do like the little parallel, whatever the hell shape you want to call it. Fold them down, or you could do the old-fashioned like fold in, go down, go. You have options. There's no right or wrong. So it's all up to what you want. So in this case, I think I'm probably going to do a fold up and then come up, because it's going to go to a wall, so I can. I also could do the fold in and then fold up, but because this is a thicker vinyl and it's going to create too much bulky excess, I'm going to go with the, I'm going to go straight across and then come up. I don't know, I might play with it for a little bit and see what I want to do. You also have the option of then cutting and then stretching over, which I might end up doing too. Because if I cut, seam will come down here, and I could do a corner. But you know what's funny is that because this has rounded corners, it's not really laying as flat as I want it to. So I think I might go a little on that. Yep, there we go. Okay, so what I did was I told you there's no right or wrong. You gotta play with fabric and material that you're working with, because it will, sometimes they do resist you, and you gotta be kind. So I'm gonna come in at an angle. So rather than it being, hello, Winston. I'm gonna come in and I'm gonna pull from here, and I'm gonna really guide it to come up and over to where this side actually is. This side of the run is actually gonna run flush with the other end. And I'm gonna anchor it real quick. Because again, you can always pull the staple out, but I think that's the cleanest way. Watch out, honey. Winston, look, baby, you're right where I need to be. So we're going to do the same thing over here. Come in, and I'm more so trying to pull this on that flat side. And this one doesn't want to find its spot to grab. So, here we go. Okay, so I'm going to show you real quick with this angle on what we have, because this is how I just folded pulled up. Of course, I haven't stapled this yet, but you can see I folded and brought it up, and it gives it just that clean boxed finish. So, back in action. Now we're gonna finish stretching this run. Like I did before, what you wanna do, so see how these nail heads are kind of popping through a little bit? I'm not gonna pull it as taut as I did. For some reason it's just showing there. Okay. It's okay to get staple happy because it just means it's gonna be more secure. Watch out, staples are flying. Staples are flying. Watch out.
Have you been on the floor?
No, staples aren't flying on the floor. They're just flying out of the staple gun. But I love you. I don't
Are
want
they
you to hurt.
flying out of the hole?
No. Okay. So now that I've got this part upholstered, reupholstered, stretched, whew, it's getting warm in here. Everybody else getting warm in here. So now that we've got that done, we will staple the excess to the back side of the wood that we have on the frame. Watch out, baby. So that we don't have this silly flange hanging down when we eventually put the legs back on and flip it. Okay. And the reason why I'm not cutting off that excess flange just yet, because what if I have to pull these staples out and redo something, you know? It would suck because I bought the fabric. And we don't want to have to recut
The fabric.
the fabric.
On the bucket.
So we're just anchoring on the back side of the frame. So first side done. Now that I know that we are anchored all around, I'm gonna cut off this excess. I'm gonna get not only one bolster pillow, but two. Like really like four. To be really cute. Because you know what? I actually need to make new pillows. Yay! For our new room that we just had the wall completed on, which has that same paint color, and behind the headboard that we have coming from our house furniture. I'm gonna paint the wall in a suede paint, but it's gonna be this gray color. So these will be on the brown Preston sofa from our house that we have that's down there. It's a leather sofa, so I can do the leather croc. I'm so excited now because as I'm talking to you, I'm designing and it's amazing and I'm loving it. Let's flip it and make sure everything's looking good on the other side. Look at how cool the design ended up running straight down the center. So it is perfectly centered the way that things should be when upholsterers do it. So, oh my God, I'm so excited. Okay, so last thing we do, find our little holes where the legs are gonna go. And all I'm gonna do is take my scissors and just, this also goes to show you that like when you go to places like Goodwill or like a secondhand store, if you find a piece of furniture that, especially ones that have removable cushions, so you know, looking at this piece, you might have thought like, oh, it doesn't have a removable cushion. No, but the legs were removable. So in this case, it was quite simple just to take out the bolts, take the legs out. No special tools required, just a simple Allen key. And just like that. And like I said, we're gonna go ahead and put in a few more staples since we cut out the fabric. So I'm gonna stretch it across on that opening so that the fabric doesn't tear. It's vinyl, not fabric. Yeah, so we're good. I'm gonna go ahead and cut off this excess just to keep it nice and clean. Okay. I just cut off the excess. Okay. So let's get to the other leg. We're going through to the other leg. So I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna put my holes. As you see, you've all walked through the whole steps of all the steps of doing this. This is the toughest part because I'm cutting through about 5 layers of very thick vinyl. So there's another way that you could have done this without taking the legs out, but you would have never achieved that clean, finished look. It would have just looked like you were trying to makeshift it and cut corners. And here we are, literally cutting corners. This is when it comes to there is no right or wrong, this is the right way of doing it. This is how you're going to get a clean, upholstered bench and it not look like you tried to. And we're in. Okay? Nothing really involved, baby. Thank you. Right, so since I can get here, I got this excess one. Already under the. Wow. There we go. I will finish taking these later because all of this is just taking up this. Get to the others. So again, I'm taking my scissors, wiggling my way through to where the hole needs to be.
Oh, right, that was for that one.
We're in.
Well,
Well, then you should probably just squeeze them. There's one there. Where's the last?
here.
It's so funny how that one quarter block leg is just stubborn one. I'm able to turn these in by hand, literally. Like, no.
I found it. I found this one.
Swelling of wood during the seasons, which is funny. That's one. Thank you, baby. Just like, yeah. All finagle together to fit back into their homes. The first one was good. This one was good. Rocking and rolling. Go through the grapeseed. Yeah, that was just being the stubborn little blood. One more, never done. Okay. Guys, we are like in a major home stretch. Okay, we cracked the bolt and now it's going in good. As you can see, it took us more time to screw this one leg in than it really took to like reupholster the whole bench. Yeah, right? I know. Again, I could have gotten out the gun, the impact gun, my drill, and put an Allen key bit in. But I think we're ready to unveil the finished product. Okay. It really wasn't that big of a deal. So, let me just trim a little excess flanging. Now, because the bench itself has seen such use and wear and tear, the legs of this bench have taken a beating. So I love the finish of the leg. The leg finish on this bench is really pretty. It has like a graphite finish to it. So I don't think I'm gonna refinish. And by refinish, I mean literally I would grab a can of spray paint from Lowe's and just spray the legs. You ready for this? It's actually kind of heavy. It's not as light. It's gorgeous. So pretty. I am so pleased with the way that this turned out. It makes me want to go like consignment shopping right now. It makes me want to go to Goodwill. It's so freaking gorge. Amazing. What do you think? Thank you guys for joining us today.